Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Welcome to the East Tennessee Sports Report. Hi, I'm your host, Ralph Miranda. Today, we're at the Gondolier Restaurant once again. Gondolier Restaurant voted the #1 Italian restaurant in Sevier County. I also want to thank all our sponsors right out of the gate. I want to thank Crescent Center Drugs in Morristown, Morristown Ford of Morristown, Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice, Gateway Ford in Greenville, and Mullins Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Elizabethton. All right, I got my usual cast with me tonight. On my far right, I've got Scott Gallion, a.k.a. the nerdy linebacker. I've got the judge here, Scott Blevins, and the philosopher who I've told has to keep his philosophizing to a minimum tonight, Chris Reddick. All right, guys, last week's games. Maryville, no surprise. Well, a little bit of a surprise that they won as big as they did. I thought it was going to be a better game, but still not that big a surprise. Probably the biggest surprise of the weekend was Sevier County's dismantling of Morristown West, and we all picked Morristown West. So you picked Sevier County? All right. Well, then you can't join us. He reversed. Right. He reversed on us, didn't he? All right. All right. Well, then I'll let you start. Obviously, you weren't surprising, but was there anything about that game that kind of surprised you?
Actually, the biggest surprise was that I can't believe Morristown West did not know what was coming. I mean, all those weapons, they didn't properly prepare and adjust. That was the surprise.
Okay.
What happened, Morristown West?
Yeah.
Well, me and Scott were talking off camera a minute ago. I'm not going to steal his thunder on this, but I thought Delaney was just going to come in there and they were going to run the ball some and have some success, and they didn't. And I know you were at the game, so I was going to let you talk about that a little bit. But I was kind of disappointed in that. So.
Yeah, well, you know, it was a great game and a great matchup, but at the end of the day, you know, Morristown West is methodical. They're going to run the ball. Didn't get the passing game going. You know, I know they're a run team, but they needed to, you know, have some pass plays in there just to soften them up a little bit, and weren't able to do that. They were killed by penalties. They had 15 penalties to Sevier County's 5. But
tough.
At the end of the day, just Sevier County had more speed on the field, and they had that quick strike ability. You know, they scored on some long touchdown passes, and then and it was just hard for Morristown West to get going.
We knew their offense was good, though. We knew that going into it. We just weren't sure, you know, if Morristown West defense would stop them. That's what we talked about a lot.
Well, that's what, you know, I talked to some guys before the game there at the game, some coaches and stuff, and you know, a lot of them felt like Morristown West was going to be tough to beat because, you know, how is Sevier County going to get the ball from them? You know, Sevier County scored early, and then they just kind of took the air out of the sails of Morristown West, and you know, never once did I feel like Delaney had over 100 yards rushing, but he never got to a point where you felt like, man, he's getting ready to break it. You know, there was just so much speed on the field for Sevier County that he might get 10 or 12, but there was always 2 or 3 guys left to beat, and he couldn't get there.
And then, go ahead.
I was going to say, obviously, Deuce got loose. So, again, we talked about that. We talked about that last week. I thought if they put pressure on Deuce and get him out of the pocket a little bit, do some things, and obviously they didn't do that. He just sat back there and picked him apart a little bit. So.
And Catholic beat Greenville. We all kind of figured that might happen. We knew that Catholic had got a lot of guys back, so that wasn't a real big surprise, but Catholic has moved into the semifinals. Let's talk real quickly about the 6A matchups we got coming up Friday night. Ravenwood and Whitehaven. Those teams have been in 3 of the last 4 state championship games from the western side of the state. Whitehaven in 11 and 12, Ravenwood last year. The game is at Ravenwood, very talented football teams, but obviously they're just playing for the right to probably get beat by Maryville. And Maryville plays Oakland Friday night, a rematch of last year's semifinal. We've got George Quarles coming up later in the show. Any reason to think that Oakland can make a different outcome from last year?
We talked to coach from Oakland a little bit earlier. One of the things was asked was, you know, what can you do to beat him? And he's you know, I'm going to put praying in this, but he's hoping that they can get some 3 and outs. If somehow they can get some 3 and outs, which Maryville's not used to, they may have a chance. So.
I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, Maryville can score 20 points in 2 minutes, you know. Right. So I'm taking Maryville, but I think the Ravenwood Whitehaven game, it's two powerful offenses. 55 points from I think Whitehaven, 53 from Ravenwood, playing some pretty good teams coming out of the Tennessee there in the Mid-West Conference. But I think I'm going to go with Whitehaven, and I'll take Maryville. So
yeah, I'm going to go Maryville. But both these games are rematches of last year.
Right.
I'm going to go with Maryville against Oakland, and then I'm going to go with Whitehaven as well.
Okay.
And see if it'll be a little bit different game.
Sounds good. All right, there you have it. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Ray County, Sevier County, Class 5A on the East Tennessee Sports Report. We'll be right back.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Advantage of great deals like this new Ford Focus
or this new Ford Fiesta.
Your choice.
For as low as $199 a month. And don't forget about the great deals on the new Ford Fusion for as low as $249 a month.
Right in the heart of Morristown.
Thinking about end-of-life care can be quite overwhelming. We understand that. When you are aware of the help that we can provide, you will be able to make an informed decision and feel ready to bring on our team of compassionate and caring medical professionals. Families that have used our hospice services tell us often that they wish they had chosen our care sooner. They don't know what they would have done without us. Relief comes easily to patients and families as our services are covered by Medicare, VA, and most private insurances. Call us today.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. You've just got to get to Gateway.
Get Greene County's only lifetime warranty on these incredible Gateway deals. Buy a 15 Ford Taurus under $21,000, 15 Ford F-150 Crew Cab, save $11,000 off the sticker, 16 Ford Escape under $22,000. Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. I'm your host, Ralph Miranda, joined by Scott Williams, Chris Blevins, and Chris Reddick. All right, guys, Class 5A. Sevier County has moved into the semifinals. This is their best chance they've had in probably 15, 16 years to get a state championship.
Sure.
They're going to be favored, but this Ray County team is probably not a pushover, is it?
No, I think they're probably going. Well, first of all, Ray County got to this same game last year.
Okay.
Got beat by Knox West, so they're used to getting deep in the playoffs. But I think it's going to be similar to this game that they just played against Morristown West. I think Ray County's a big, strong team. They're going to try to dominate the time of possession. But Sevier County with that quick strike ability, and I think their defense is playing well. I'm going to take Sevier County in this game.
Well, I think Sevier County's obviously found what they do best is play offense, and I think they got a great defense. They're going to score points on you. They're going to put up points, and then hopefully their defense will make some stops and turnovers, and they can be successful. But I think Sevier County is just going to try to win 50 points, So.
Definitely going to be a high-scoring game, I believe, for Sevier County. I think they've reached their stride. They've kind of peaked at a point. Got all cylinders running, running backs looking good, the receivers outstanding, a lot of weapons, a lot of speed. If they can control Ravenwood as far as controlling that wing T, which can be stubborn, a stubborn time killer. If they can get some 3-and-outs and Deuce gets loose, hit some quick touchdowns, I think they can run away with it.
Yeah, if they can get a lead, it's hard with the wing T to come back from 2 or 3 touchdowns down because it takes so long to score. And on the other side of the bracket, Centennial and Independence. Independence has been ranked number 1 in 5A most of the year. They're undefeated, I believe. And Centennial is 12-1, and they've beaten Ravenwood, who is one of the 6A semifinalists. So both games should be good, and the state championship should be a really good game as well. All right, stay with us. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with Coach George Quarles, the head football coach of the Maryville Rebels, when we come back on the East Tennessee Sports Report.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
I never thought I'd get into the car business or work with my dad, but some things you just shouldn't pass up, like our carefree car deal with upfront pricing below the factory invoice and our lifetime powertrain warranty. You've just got to get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
Turkey's going to slow them down this week. They're going to be really sleepy.
Tryptophan.
Yeah.
Tryptophan, yeah. tryptophan. We're rolling? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
From 1989, Tomo has been one of the first sushi restaurants in Knoxville.
I love it. This is one of my favorite restaurants in Knoxville.
We have carried on with an age-old tradition atmosphere and menu, including the Japanese bento box.
Food is outstanding.
Tomo is open for lunch and dinner and extra late for all you late-night sushi lovers, Friday and Saturday nights.
I love the sushi. It's always really fresh.
Tomo even offers half-price sushi on Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. Tomo, neighborhood price and friendly service on West Hill Crossing Plaza.
We're joined now by Coach George Quarles, the head football coach of the Maryville Rebels. And, Coach, how are you this evening?
Doing great. How are you, Ralph?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule to talk with us. I wanted to talk a little bit about the game Friday night against Blackman. Obviously, Blackman, very good football team. I thought your defense played exceptionally well, not only in setting the tone early in the game, but also picking up the offense until they got untracked, especially after those 2 early turnovers.
Yeah, no doubt. The early score that we got from the defense was huge. I think the second play of the game, we pick up a fumble and score. Drake Martin was able to do that. And then, like you said, I thought this set the tone. That team had been scoring 56 points the first 2 games of the playoffs. They scored a lot of points during the regular season. And to give up 7 was a huge night for our defense, and created turnovers. I think the turnover and the forced punt right before the half was huge because we get 2 scores. We go 2 scores in the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I think. And that was kind of the difference in the game. We go from being up 14 to 7 to up 28 to 7 going into half.
Coach, I noticed offensively it seemed like you guys put it in the air quite a bit. Was that by design or Blackman? It seemed like Blackman did a fairly good job of stopping your running game with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 long runs. So was that a plan going in that you were going to try to throw it, or was it more just take what they would give you?
I think some of both. We wanted to, we've got good players outside that we want to get involved, and then I just felt really a little bit better about those matchups than some of the ones of our offensive line trying to block their defensive line. And their line moved so much. I mean, they were a real slant 50 team. It's kind of hard to tell which way they were going, and we just felt like protection-wise it might be a little bit easier to handle them that way and do our short passing game and let those guys run with it than, trying to block all of them. And you're right, we didn't, do a great job in the run game, but we did have some key runs. Jordan Irvin had a long run. Probably the biggest play of the game could have been Joel Hopkins, where he breaks several tackles, and we didn't block anybody, but just a great effort play where he gets 16 yards. And, after that, I thought we played much better. We got in a little bit of rhythm there. Clearly the 2 turnovers inside the 5-yard line hurt us. One of them was just fumble, and the other one was a bad call on the coach's part. But like I said, really proud of our team. 42-7 win against that team we'll take all day long.
Well, Coach, now you guys play Oakland in the semifinals, a team that you guys played last year down at their place. Contrast this year's Oakland team versus what you saw last year.
Well, new coaching staff. Kevin Creasy is the new coach there, and he's been at Trousdale County, I think, for the last several years. They're a wing tee type team on offense, really very multiple. I mean, there'll be lots and lots of formations, but quite a bit of wing tee and some jet sweeps out of the wing. Defensively, very, very multiple. They line up in just about every defense you can line up in. They're in a 50 some, they're in a 4-3 some, they're in double eagle some. They give you just about every look that you can and that you can get. Last year's team was definitely 4-3. They were, kind of religious with it. These guys will bring some pressures this year. They're still extremely athletic, very, very talented. They're big and physical. And talking to all the coaches down there in that region, they just felt like they were clearly the best team in that region.
Well, obviously, it goes without saying that you guys will want to limit, if not eradicate, any turnovers on your part. But other than that, what are some of the things that you'll have to do well to be successful?
Well, I do think we have to run it some. I don't know that we're going to be able to line up and just run over these guys, but we've got, guys that Jordan Irvin and Joel Hopkins and Isaiah Cobb that need to touch the ball and need to get involved, and we've got to find ways to get them some touches, whether it's in the run game or the pass game, and then, like you said, the turnovers. I think turnovers are so key, and we've been so good at that all year, and in the last couple of games we've turned it over a couple of times, and clearly that's very concerning. It hasn't cost us yet, but you keep messing with fire, eventually it will. It will burn you.
Yeah, that's a good way to end the interview. Coach, appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck Friday night, and hopefully we can catch up with you again next week.
Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate it.
All right, Coach, take care of yourself.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
You're watching the East Tennessee Sports Report.
Gotta get to Gateway.
Get Greene County's only lifetime warranty on these incredible Gateway deals. 2014 minivans like Town & Country's, Honda Odysseys, and Dodge Caravans from $19,900. Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville online at gatewaydeal.com.
Trusted for over 32 years, our agency has won numerous awards and has served thousands of Tennessee residents. Tammy Francis knows that home health care isn't something you should leave to chance. It is vital that your home health care provider be a reliable and trusted member of the community they serve. That's why Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice invests in education and training for their staff. Many have obtained advanced degrees in health care. Just another reason to be sure to request our services when your physician recommends home care. We set the standard in the home care industry.
Advantage of great deals like this new Ford Focus.
Or this new Ford Fiesta.
Your choice.
For as low as $199 a month. And don't forget about the great deals on the new Ford Fusion for as low as $249 a month.
Right in the heart of Morristown. Get the right services you need from a name you can trust at Crescent Center Drugs. Whether it's hormone replacement therapy or if you need to update your immunizations for flu, pneumonia, or shingles, Crescent Center Drugs has a professional and friendly staff always ready to take care of you. That's why for many years, Crescent Center Drugs has been your good neighbor pharmacy. Right now, getting your medicine is fast and easy when you sign up for the IVR system. It's simple. Once your prescription is filled, your box is scanned, and you instantly receive a phone call or text for pickup. Visit Crescent Center Drugs inside the Crescent Shopping Center.
I never thought I'd get into the car business or work with my dad, but some things you just shouldn't pass up, like our carefree car deal with upfront pricing below the factory invoice and our lifetime powertrain warranty. You've just got to get to Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
Let's go, Devils! D-E-V-I-L-S, let's go, Devils! D-E-V-I-L-S, let's go, Devils! D-E-V-I-L-S, let's go, Devils!
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. Hi, I'm your host, Ralph Miranda, joined by my usual crew, as always, Scott Gallion, Chris Blevins, Chris Reddick. Want to thank our sponsors. We're at Gondolier Restaurant, voted the #1 Italian restaurant in Sevier County. You need to come down here and sample some of this fine Italian food. Best Italian food this side of the homeland across the Atlantic Ocean. And I want to thank our sponsors as well. I want to thank Crescent Center Drugs in Morristown, Morristown Ford of Morristown, Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice, 7 locations across East Tennessee, Gateway Ford of Greenville, and Mullins Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram of Elizabethton. All right, guys, we got a lot of football to talk here. Let's start with Class 4A. Catholic on the roll, semifinals. They will play Marshall County. So, Scott, you're the guy with all the stats, so tell me a little bit about this matchup.
I didn't get to do my homework.
Didn't get to do his homework this week. All right.
Hey, Marshall County's 12-0. They had a great year last year. A lot of guys back. I was reading. I did get to read a little bit. I think 15 out of 22 starters back from last year's team. So a lot of experience. I'm going to stay with Catholic. I think Catholic has got on a roll here, playing well. Once the playoffs have started, they've got a lot of athletes. They've got good, talented, athletic offensive linemen as well, and defensive linemen. So I just think Catholic's hot right now. I'm going to go with them to win.
Right, and I think Knox Catholic's definitely the team I'm going with. I don't know much about Marshall County, so I'll take your advice on that. But Knox Catholic's got a lot of athletes on the field, and I think they're going to on a roll as well. I'm taking Knox Catholic.
I'm going to root for Knox County. We talked to Coach Matthews a little earlier, and I think he says he needs to get some of his players rested up, some of his starters that got a little banged up in that last game against Greenville. But I think once he gets them ready, I think Catholic is going to come roaring and firing and get a victory.
Well, and the game is at Catholic, which should help them quite a bit. And this time of year, I don't care how banged up you are, you play on adrenaline if you have to. When you're 48 minutes away from the state championship, you play on whatever adrenaline you can muster up. So that ought to be pretty easy for Catholic to do. All right, Class 3A, Notre Dame will play Alcoa. Hard for me to believe that Alcoa is going to lose that football game.
Especially coming out of laying a goose egg on CAK, right? So I think Alcoa is still Alcoa. We talk about kind of like Maryville, they're Alcoa. I think they're going to definitely come to play. I'm not sure about Notre Dame a lot again, so I'm not trying to say what I don't know. But Alcoa is definitely a great football team, and in this playoffs kind of scenario, I think Alcoa's got the advantage.
Yeah, they're just like Maryville. Until somebody knocks them off, you've got to pick Alcoa, and so they've got. I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, but a small school, and they have so many athletes on the football field every year in and year out. So I'm going Alcoa.
Tough team, Alcoa. I mean, you just shut out CAK. Was it 24-0?
Yes.
And that's a high-powering offense. I saw them play last week, CAK. So, hey, much props to Alcoa. Like you said, I compare them to a Maryville team, Alcoa.
Well, then the interesting thing is, they sent the Alcoa the CAK quarterback was carted off the field. I think he's going to be okay, but they sacked him 8 times.
Ooh,
I mean, when you blister a quarterback like that, it's very hard for an offense to get any kind of rhythm at all. Yeah. And I find it hard to believe that this Notre Dame team, however good they may be, can come in there and do anything different against Alcoa.
I want to add something real quick to you saying that those 8 sacks. CAK, they have a little strategy where they set their quarterback a few steps farther back, so that's very impressive.
They can stay 40 yards back.
Morristown West took a little playbook out of that for against Sevier County.
Yeah, the interesting thing though is on the other side of the bracket. CPA plays Liberty Magnet, and this CPA team shut out Alcoa in the state championship game last year. So there's a little bit of intrigue in that classification coming up if CPA can get to the championship game.
I'm sure they want to be there, and I'm sure Alcoa is thinking the same exact thing we just talked about.
That ought to be a war.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about Class 2A. We've got Hampton and Marion County. I think you guys were talking off break that Marion County's got a pretty good little football team coming out of there.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Marion County. I know historically they have a great football program there, but man, Hampton just dismantled Grace Christian last week.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing good ball, obviously. I'm going to go with Hampton. As I look at this list, guys, we got a representative from East Tennessee in the 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A.
That's a good call out.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
If all those guys make it, that'll be a great representation.
Yeah, definitely. We got Greenback in Class 1A. That's right, playing at home as well. So I think it's pretty obvious that I think I'm safe in saying this. The best high school football is played in the eastern part of the state.
Oh, yes.
Overall.
Yes. Sure.
Overall. You may have some teams that are better than others, but well, that wraps up our classifications. When we come back, we're going to give the floor over to our resident judge here, so he can talk about his 7-4 Tennessee Volunteers. I don't get to talk about my 10-1 Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but I understand why. That's okay with me, right? So stay with us for more when we come back on the East Tennessee Sports Report.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Gotta get to Gateway.
Get Greene County's only lifetime warranty on these incredible Gateway deals. 2014 minivans like Town & Country's, Honda Odysseys, and Dodge Caravans from $19,900. Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda in Greenville, online at gatewaydeal.com.
That's like the old story of course, you guys are probably too young to remember this, but when back in 1974, the Steelers drafted Lynn Swann first overall, right, for their team, and they drafted Jack Lambert second, in second pick. So they said that Swann tell a story that one day he said Lambert was a scary guy because you just never wanted to. He said Lambert walked by the Swann's locker and just stood there and looked at him, and Swann said, "I said, hey Jack, what's up?" And he just looked at him. He said, "You okay?" He goes, "I should have been number 1. You should have been number 2." And he just walked on out.
Both of them Hall of Fame.
Exactly, yeah. But that's the kind of attitude, right? I should be number 1, not you. Oh, that's funny.
Advantage of great deals like this new Ford Focus.
Or this new Ford Fiesta.
Your choice.
for as low as $199 a month. And don't forget about the great deals on the new Ford Fusion for as low as $249 a month.
Right in the heart of Morristown.
The Jeep Celebration event is going on now at Mullins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Elizabethton.
Drive a new 2015 Jeep Patriot with air conditioning, stock number 893 for only $13,900. 2015 Jeep Wrangler with aluminum wheels, stock number 793 for only $24,500. Remember, you can buy a Mullins Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with no money down, no payments till 2016, 0% APR for up to 72 months on select models, and always top dollar for your trade. Before you buy, give Mullins a try.
Welcome back to the East Tennessee Sports Report. I'm your host, Ralph Miranda. We're joined by Scott Gallion, Chris Blevins, Chris Reddick, our usual cast. El Presidente's off to the side making sure we stay in line tonight. Ball is yours. Let's talk about UT.
Well, obviously we're 7-4 now, and we're very excited if you're a Tennessee fan. So we're definitely going to a bowl game. But Tennessee played a great game. It wasn't very fun to watch. It's obviously cold, down the 20s. There wasn't a lot of exciting plays except for on the ground, and we talked about off camera too. Jalen Hurd got the ball 35 times, over 150 yards rushing. He's got over 1,000 yards in the season. And I know we were talking here in a few minutes. I want you to say your quote you talked about, because it doesn't matter about running the ball many times, but tell what you said.
Yeah, well, back in 1980 when Herschel Walker was a freshman, burst on the scene, they asked, he was carrying the ball 35 times.
Right.
They said, Herschel, don't you get tired carrying the ball that much? He goes, why? He goes, the ball ain't heavy.
Exactly. And I think that's the mentality they have, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that giving the ball to Jalen and doing that is definitely building for the future. Obviously, we've never beat Missouri, so we're 1-3 now against Missouri, which is we need to get over that hump too. And I think it was a great going into the Vanderbilt game. I think we finished on a strong note. But I was impressed. At the same time, it wasn't very exciting. I know people didn't want to watch it, but I'm glad to see them do that and have a great game.
Let me ask you this question. You, former player for UT, big UT fan.
Yes.
They had a lot of expectations this year. I think they came out ranked in the top 25.
23.
If they go 8-4 and win a bowl game, next year's the year, is it not? They have to do it next year, don't they?
And this year could have been the year. They were so stinking close, to be. They're 8-4, and they really should be 10-2.
Right.
If they take care of business, finish season 10-2, and the ball bounces different, it could be even better than that. So I think they're really close. Got to learn how to win those close games, those tough games. But I think we are close. I think next year is the year.
We say it every year. We're always excited about next year. I hate saying that, but we are. But the two things to take away from the season is winning these last games at the end, finishing them off, and then we have Dobbs back there. He's got to be able to use his feet. We let the option come around and make a threat. Either going to run or you're going to pass, and kind of change it up, not just be so one-dimensional. And then the coaching, of course, we want to make sure we stick to the game plan, and then obviously change at halftime or make some changes to go what's going on in the first half. And I think we got an exciting team, and I think we've got a bright future.
Well, I think the bowl game is big. You get those extra weeks of practice, but to get a 9-win season would be big.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah. First time we won 4 games, and if we won the 5 next week, 5 in a row, it'll be the first time since like 1990 something, 4, 6. So
all right, enough
great.
UT talk. We're running out of time. I got to give props to my school, ETSU. We got a victory. We got 2 wins. We're going to have a great season next year.
Go Bucks.
Fair enough. All right, so there we go. I want to thank our sponsors one more time, Crescent Center Drugs of Morristown, Smoky Mountain Home Health and Hospice, Morristown Ford, Gateway Ford and Greenville, Mullins Chrysler Jeep, Dodge and Ram of Elizabethton, Gondolier Restaurant, for the nerdy linebacker, for the judge, for the philosopher, I'm Ralph Miranda. We'll see you next week. We'll be talking state championships right here on East Tennessee Sports Report.
Here we go now. That's how we roll. Here we go now.